I'm your host with the locks that rocks out of Richmond, your host of the official podcast of Rocklahoma. Although we are at a different sort of festival on the same sacred grounds, we are here at Born and Raised, and I am joined by Tim Montana.
How are you?
Going,
Thanks for having me.
I am so happy to have you here. Welcome to Oklahoma. Welcome to Pryor.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So, can you tell me a little bit about preparing for Born and Raised Music Festival?
Yeah, we've spent all summer preparing, did a lot of shows. We've been running like crazy, but I love the festival thing. I love the outlaw country things going on here, reddirt, whatever you want to call it. But, yeah, excited to get on the stage and show them a little Montana country rock.
Montana. So tell me a little bit about where Tim comes from. I was doing a little bit of homework. You're an eclectic musician. It's not just the country. You got a little bit of a rock and roll streak and everything.
Yeah. So I grew up, was born in the Flathead Valley in Montana, and 3 generations Butte, Montana, Southwest. But I didn't have electricity till I went to college. We lived out in the middle of nowhere, lanterns, candles. A lot of Nirvana by lantern light when I was coming up. I was the weird kid that wore Carhartts and a Nirvana shirt every day, and very influenced by Seattle and Alice in Chains and what was going on up there, and then a little mix of Chris Ledoux and what was happening in Wyoming, and this little mashup of country rock, if you will. So
at what point did you just get bit by the musical bug and decide that you wanted to start playing and pursuing this?
Probably about 6 years old. You know,
Wow.
when I lost, because I had power at first. We lived at in a pawn shop, gun shop in northwest Montana, northern Montana, and as soon as the TV went away, I got a little nylon string guitar and just would literally learn to play guitar by lantern light and listen to these ZZ Top songs and Nirvana songs and just learn them in my bedroom because there was nothing else to do. It was just frigid Montana winters, a guitar, and lots of hard work, and
Right.
so it was kind of a necessity for me, an outlet. You know, I didn't really have a life outside of going to school. I had to come home and work on the ranch and stuff like that. So the guitar was my only friend for a lot of lonely years. So,
and you mentioned ZZ Top. They were here last year.
Yeah.
Amazing show. And I'm so happy that they're still touring, even though they lost. And I also, you mentioned Nirvana. Now, I was talking, what's this about Foo Fighters? My man.
Yeah, I met Dave Grohl at Memphis in May, a barbecue fest I represent as an ambassador for Traeger Grills, and I was going down there to play the tent, and I'd heard rumor that Dave Grohl was there. And I told my drummer, I said, dude, he's going to come see us play. He's going to love us. We're going to become friends. We're going to tour with the Foo Fighters. And my drummer had been with me a long time at that point. And he goes, Tim, you say the most bizarre stuff, and then I watch it happen. So I'm just going to assume it's going to happen the way you've dreamt about this. And sure as shit, I'm sitting there playing acoustic. My drummer, Brian's on a cajon, and I just look up and I see Chucks, dirty black pants, ball cap, and a cigarette. And I'm like, I know exactly who that guy is. And I went up and was just like, Dave Grohl. And he's like, what's up, bro? Just the nicest guy ever. And he kept asking, he's like, what is this drum? And I'm like, it's a cajon. You sit on it and play. And he goes, I said to him, do you want to play a song with me? And he goes, yeah, what do you want to play? And I said, Smells Like Teen Spirit. And he said, F you. I don't know if we can cuss on this or not.
Yeah.
But
no, absolutely.
Yeah, he said, fuck you. Yeah. And I said, okay, House of the Rising Sun, which was a song My Mom by the Animals. My mom made me learn when I was like a very young kid.
Right.
And so he goes, yeah, House of the Rising Sun. And I led with Nirvana. I shot for the stars. He shot it down. And we sat there and played House of the Rising Sun. And all of a sudden this massive crowd gathered when they realized Dave was playing the drum. And he got up, looked at his hands, and then I'd been dreaming of this my whole life. He said, let's walk the river. I want to hear your story. And I told him about growing up poor in a trailer house, and I said, you couldn't see the wall in the trailer. It was just you and Kurt Cobain covered every inch of those walls. And I'm like, to get to meet you and this and that. And then he watched me wrestle the Yeti guy for a while. And then about 3 a.m, I get a text from him. He goes, man, there's not a lot of rebels left in this business. You're stuck with me now, brother. He's like, welcome to the family. And then we haven't got to open for him yet, but he's flown me and my wife out to shows on the Foo Fighters jet. And I'm just like, this is crazy. And he's just the nicest guy. So
Wow. So now that we know that Tim's got his rock creds, he's got those, he's got that close personal story that I want. Tell me a little bit about finding your way into a country genre.
Yeah, so I went to L.A. first. That was weird because I had never had a microwave at that point. I moved right off Hollywood Boulevard behind the Chinese Grauman Theater there. And so I went to music school there, and I just wanted to run from my country raising so hard. So I got a skateboard, and I got a yellow Squire with flames on it, and I started a rock band, and every time I'd play, everyone's like, dude, you're country as hell. Listen to you. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And I was growing my hair out. I'm like, I am not a country artist. I am as hardcore as it gets. And they're like, dude, that skateboard can't hide those Montana roots. I almost died several times on that skateboard. But finally I ended up meeting a guitar player named Johnny Highland, and he's legally blind, one of the great virtuosos of music, man. This guy can play like you have never heard, and he did it clean. He did it with no distortion. I'd never seen anything like it in my life, and my older brother is legally blind as well, so I had a connection there, and he said, hey, man, come on down to Nashville. I'd love to take you under my wing and give you guitar lessons. So right then I dropped out of music school, packed all my shit, and moved to Nashville to chase Johnny Highland because I'd never seen anyone play guitar like that. Now, I haven't even got close to touching his talent. I'm like, yeah, that's some shit you're born with. Like, there's no way to, and I thoroughly believe that people that are born without a certain ability, like vision, they gain, that sense somewhere else in his ear for music. And, that's why, like, blind musicians are so fantastic, because they don't see with their eyes. They kind of see with their ears, if you will. And, but yeah, so he took me to Nashville and just, man, did it the hard way. Went, made a $1,000 album with Johnny Highland, then went back to Montana. And again, I kind of manifested my destiny because I was like, hey, I heard Dave Letterman lives in the area. And what if he shows up, and what if he loves me, and what if he has me on the Late Show? And I swear to God, that is exactly how that happened. He showed up in Shoto, Montana. I had no idea what I was doing. Had like 3 shows, and I made a poster that said like Tim Montana coming home tour. And it was the only 3 shows I had that year in a beat up van. And Dave came out and changed my life, brought me on the Late Show with David Letterman. I got to go to the Ed Sullivan Theater. And then I came back to Nashville, and me and my wife were broke and had a baby, and I'm buying steaks. I'm like, this is the moment. Phone's gonna ring. Here we go. Superstardom. Phone didn't ring, folks. The phone didn't ring. But I'm too dumb to quit, so we kept doing it, making independent records. And I think I made 4, maybe 5 independent albums. And then BMG Records, Broken Bow, came to the table and signed me to my first major label contract. It only took 15 years and a lot of ramen noodles, but yeah.
I live on ramen. I don't smoke. It's my 2-pack a day habit.
Nice. Oh, yeah. A little sriracha on there.
I have not tried that.
Oh, dude. You got to put some hot sauce on it.
Now, I'm going to derail a little bit because you've touched a spot for me. So I know you've spoken about having growing up with folks with vision issues.
Yeah.
Do you have vision issues?
I don't know.
Okay. It's just ironic because I'm actually going deaf. I'm all but hearing impaired. So
yeah, my mom's an interpreter for the deaf. So I grew up around so many deaf kids. I can fingerspell like a beast. And people always are like, you know how to sign? I'm like, well, I can fingerspell really fast. But she'd always bring the deaf kids up to the woods, and I'd hang out with them and show them how to fish and stuff like that. So I have a,
Well, as we deaf people say, wow, that is awesome, man. And I love that message, too, that, no matter whatever you're dealing with, you just keep forging ahead and just make lemons out of lemonade. Or we're country boys, so we're going to make some margaritas out of lemons. But tell me a little bit about what's going on for you like right now. So I know we got Born and Raised right now. What happens after Born and Raised?
We're going to do a fall tour with a Texas artist named Creed Fisher. We're doing a co-headline thing. So we just announced those dates. Going to Zest Fest in Dallas. Billy Gibbons and I have a hot sauce, salsa, barbecue sauce company called Whisker Bomb. You can go to whiskerbomb.com and check that out. Nice. He's become one of my best friends on earth. Again, one of my heroes I grew up listening to is, was at my house yesterday in Nashville, chasing the kids around. Pinch myself every now and again, but we're doing really good with this Whisker Bomb. It's at HEB. It's at Pop Shelf Dollar General. It's going into Harris Teeter, so we're starting to get big grocery. I'm big into cooking, barbecue, music. So we're pushing Whisker Bomb right now. There might be some ZZ Top dates coming up this fall. I don't know. So yeah.
Man, and you got that Dollar General, so you're like in everyone's backyard now.
Well, it's Pop Shelf. It's a new Dollar General owns it, but they're quickly expanding. So yeah, it's coming. So
nice, man. Yeah. So I like to always finish up my interviews in letting my guest have an opportunity to address their audience. Now, you haven't played yet today, so
I have not.
You still have a performance to go in that sweltering heat and sun that we call Oklahoma weather. So, Tim, this opportunity is yours.
Guys, Tim Montana, we're going to rock tonight, 4 to 440. And we're going to full send, man. I think we got, we're outlaw country, but we're as much rock and roll, grunge country. People can't really paint us in a corner, but I think you're going to have a unique experience, and I'm going to bring you under the big sky. So
you got it, Big Sky. Now, where can everybody link up with Tim Montana?
Yeah, you can find me at Tim Montana on Instagram, Facebook, timmontana.com. You can check out my OnlyFans for the dirty pictures. I'm just kidding. I don't have an OnlyFans.
Hey, $20 is $20.
Yeah,
I can't
exactly.
judge. We got bills to pay. I got kids to feed.
4 kids to feed.
No judgment, man.
Yeah.
No judgment at all. Tim, thank you so much for giving me your time. And once again, everybody, I'm your host with the Rocks, Adam Richmond, and this is Surviving Rocklahoma, your official podcast of Rocklahoma.